Ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the powerful Southland Alliance for this will be the third straight year, Anthony Hayes. Give him some snaps. Snaps.
I love snaps. I do love snaps. All right. Well, no one is moving on my screen, so I'm just going to assume you can see me on your screen. If you can't see me, I guess how about we do this? Let's just go with hit me in the chat box so that I can see you. If you can see me moving, I'm rocking, I'm rolling, everything's going on, working here. All right, that's working. I can get down with that. All right. Well, let me just start by saying hello, welcome. I appreciate you being here. I'm very excited and honored to have you here. I know it is a Saturday night, right? It's Saturday, 5 p.m. There's so many great things you could be doing. You could be out partying, having fun, hanging out with friends at the beach, doing so many things. And you decided you took the commitment and you sat down to be here with us here today. So I want to make sure you get the absolute most out of this time. And I can tell you right now, the investment you are putting into yourself right now, I promise you, should you commit to what we're going to be going over, covering and just digging in on today, will pay back, 10x, 100x the time investment you are putting in here today. All right. So let me go and pull up my slides and let me go ahead and give you just an overview and an idea of what we're actually doing today. So welcome to what is known as the Alliance or Intro to Alliance meeting here for 2021. As Jay Brad said, this is now the third year of doing this. And let me tell you, I am beyond excited to be here and to be able to run this event for each and every one of you here again. And so let's start. And I know if you're at the division meeting, you already heard some of these things, but let me just give you kind of a brief overview of what the purpose of this meeting is and why we're here today. All right. And so this is one of my favorite quotes and something that I love using when I talk about the Alliance. And the purpose of the Alliance is to essentially ally yourself here with the top people, to, surround yourself with all of the other best within our division, the number one division in the company. So, the best in the company. And the quote goes as such, as you can see here on your screen, right? Surround yourself with the dreamers and the doers, the believers and thinkers, but most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within you, even when you don't see it within yourself. So here's what I'd like to know. And I want to ask you to participate, play all out with me here in the chat box today. But why do you think it's important to surround yourself with all of the other top people, with other high flying, high achieving, high aspirational individuals here within a position, especially like this one? Why do you think it's so important to be around other people shooting for the stars here? Let me know in the chat box. Give me some thoughts and ideas. Okay. Just try to be better so we don't give up. It's contagious. Yes, absolutely. Motivation. The environment makes you. Influences you to do better, okay, to become the best you can be. Yeah, I think these are fantastic. Absolutely. Okay. You want big fleas, you got to hang out with big dogs. I like that, Nathan. That's a solid one right there. So I want to give you some stories. I want to give you some idea. And I want to let you just kind of understand here as we start off the day, what this is, what the purpose of this, what I want for you, should you commit to being a part of this. Now, I will say this, I will start off the day here, and I want to make sure I make this exactly 100% crystal clear. This is not for everybody, right? If you train with me and you've ever been to my High Flyers workshop, you've heard me say most people are okay with average. And I know that to be true. Over my 6 years now of coaching representatives here at the company and now taking those skills and putting them in other businesses and other environments, I understand that most people are okay with just getting what everyone else is getting. But I want you to understand this group is not for those that want what everyone else wants. This is for those that want what everyone else can't have, to do the things that others won't do, to live the way that they can't live, right? And that's really the purpose of this, is to allow you to grow and challenge yourself and push yourself to be the best you can be, and using this push period, this upcoming 2-week sales competition, to do that. So we talked a little bit about this on Wednesday, but just to recap you, if this is your first time and you've never been through a push period before, hey, real quick, just if this is your first ever push period, you're going to be starting on Monday, throw a first in the chat box for me. Just throw the number 1 in there in the chat box. If this is your first ever push period. Wow. Look at all those rookies. That's crazy. I love that. Well, congratulations and welcome to your first one. So let me tell you, as iron sharpens iron, so does one person sharpen another. All right. The alliance here is the opportunity to surround yourself with the best people in your office and in the Southland division as we embark on the journey known as the SC1 push, right? It's the opportunity to up level, upgrade, and improve your circle of influence. One of the things that I believe in strongly is that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time around. So it's giving you an opportunity to surround yourself, spend more time with the absolute best here within the organization. Okay. The alliance is going to be the opportunity to get the best coaching, the most one-on-one individualized coaching for you to learn. It's going to be the best opportunity to learn. It is the best support, the best experience you can put, and it is the most growth and most opportunity. It's where leaders, champions, and the next greats here within our business are born. All right. It's where people like Joey Reid's story come to be. Right. I want to use some examples for you today of what the alliance can do for you. I love Joey Reid's story because Joey Reid started with me in 2018. He sold about $11,000 for the entire summer, sold maybe $2,000 in his fast start. And he was someone that I looked at as the, well, to put it nicely, the bottom tier of my leadership group, right? He was one of my assistant managers that constantly was, we were having long talks and he was saying, sorry, we were trying to explain things. And going into the push period in 2019, Joey told me, hey, I really want to go after a big push. I want to challenge myself. I want to grow myself. He said, I want to learn what it takes to be able to work my butt off and to really experience everything that is out there and possible. And Joey signed up for the alliance, committed to a $10,000 push period. And on the first day, after going 0 for 2 his first 2 appointments, sat down in my office and said, hey, man, I don't have enough numbers to call. And I really don't think I can go after 10,000. He said, I'm simply said I wanted to do 10,000 just so I could make you proud and to look good for you. He said, I want to lower my goal. And I sat Joey down, I looked him in the eye and I said, no, Joey, you can't do that. I will not allow you to quit on yourself. I will not allow you to give up right here because I need you to work hard. I need you to challenge yourself and grow yourself during these 2 weeks, not so that you can sell $10,000, not so you can make more income, not so that you can be a great Cutco salesperson, but so that you know what it takes. You have the skills, the experience, and the drive that when the opportunity comes to dig in your heels and to go after the thing you really want in life, you can go out there and do it. Joey ended up producing over $11,000, doubling his career sales during that push period, and being one of the top 5 representatives in the entire competition in 2019. Joey's one of my favorite stories from that year. And I remember him getting up on stage, getting his trophy, giving me a big hug. And I simply told him, don't ever try to quit on me again. You got this. You have so much more than you believe. I think about people like Camille English, who Camille was the number 7 person maybe in her training class. She finished training with 2 10K fast starters. You know, was someone that was very shy, very introverted, didn't know if she could be a great Cutco sales representative, but had a lot of friends on the team. So she enjoyed working there, committed to a 10K push, ended up finishing that summer well over 10,000 in the push, and my number 1 representative that summer. Texted me at the end of the summer, thanking me for the opportunity to grow her communication skills, grow her confidence, and have the opportunity for the first time to feel proud about something she was doing in her life as she went into college basketball, which, you know, I don't know how she finally decided that for herself, but seeing the growth in this young lady, seeing her have the confidence to go out there and talk to people at school, make friends, because she simply was able to produce some sales of Cutco. That's an exciting opportunity that I see that came out of the Alliance event. I think of people like Nilay Desai, the gentleman here on the left, who sold $1,000 in his fast start, $2,000 his first month on the job. But that girl there on the right, kind of like the way she looked, thought she was a pretty cool person and really wanted to prove to himself and to her that he had more in this position, that he was someone that stood out amongst the crowd. So committed to a 10K push and ended up producing over $14,000 in those 10 days, selling over $5,000 2 days before the push at 3 a.m. One of our favorite friends here of the community here in Cutco, and someone that went out there and was, again, one of my top representatives that summer from the momentum he created during that push period. Or I think about people like Cassidy Solito here, who on her second day of training tried to quit the job, in tears, said she couldn't do this, wouldn't find success, was so nervous, was afraid of what customers would think of her to do demos. committed to multiple 10K pushes. And I'll be honest with you, didn't achieve $10,000 in a single push period, but produced over $20,000 in sales last summer, ended up as our #1 representative here in the Newport Beach office, and is currently a 19-year-old branch manager, leading, managing, and running her own organization with the company as a college student that tried to quit before she could even do a demo, right? This is what alliances bring. This is the experience that a push period can provide for you personally, mentally, physically, emotionally, monetarily, however you want to look at it, should you decide to commit yourself to everything it has to offer. So we've talked about it before. It's a 2-week all-out sales contest where you compete with other people, where your office competes against other offices. Our division competes against other divisions, but most importantly, you get the opportunity to compete against yourself. The true purpose of a push, to put it very simply, is to challenge yourself, to give yourself the opportunity to push your limits and see what you're made of. It's a commitment to growth, to testing your limits, and to seeing who you can become if you give it your best. Give it your best shot. Push is about setting a goal and doing everything you can to achieve the goal, not so that you can hit the goal, but so that you know what it takes and you can become the person required to achieve that goal, to be the kind of person that is top tier, stands out amongst the crowd, has that confidence, has those communication skills, has that perseverance, that drive, that work ethic to make it happen. So when it comes to this SE1 push, a great question to ask yourself. I'd love for you to write these questions down, journal with yourself a little bit here, because I believe I have my Southland admin, Mr. J. Brad. J. Brad, I'd love for you to get some breakout rooms ready, groups of 3 or 4 here today. We're going to have a small interaction to start off our day. I'll bring the questions up here momentarily. Okay. Also, if you could have some music ready for that as well, that'd be great, since I still can't see much here. But a great question to ask yourself is, when was the last time you gave your best to something? Because I know for many people, I know for myself, when I started this position, I didn't have an answer to that, right? I coasted my way through most things in life. I did pretty well in school because I had the talent and, I don't know, the memorization skills to, get good enough grades in high school and through most of college, right? I did pretty well in sports, but, when they said run as hard as you can, I never wanted to run as hard as I could for every sprint because I knew there'd be another one coming and I wanted to have enough energy for the next one. Right. I did most things just well enough to be good, but not well enough to be great. And I know many people find themselves in that similar situation. Or maybe you've never seen that level of result, that level of achievement before. Right. I love when representatives tell me I've never won a trophy before. And it's so exciting to place within the top 10 during this push period. Maybe that's you. So one of the things that I love and I cherish about this position is that everything here is a choice. It's a choice to succeed here. The question is, though, have you chosen to be your best? Have you chosen to give this everything you can to achieve everything that's available for you? And if you haven't, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Why haven't you gone out and done that? Right? What is stopping you from being the best you can be right now? Is that a crunching noise? Someone hear that? All right. What could you do if you gave it your all? What is your potential? Your limitless potential here? I heard that too, Stu. Okay. Ask yourself, what would you learn? How would you grow? How would you feel to do the things that you see other people doing? And what would it look like to be the person instead that's in the front of the room, that's last, and they're the person spotlighted on the Zoom, giving the message, teaching others, sharing their experiences? What would that do for your confidence? What would that do for your bank account? What would that do for your communication skills, for your resume, your future opportunities? What could that look like for you? So here is the question I'd like for us to be able to discuss in some small breakout rooms. All right. So if I get someone to post this in the chat box for me, that would be fantastic. Can't see the chat box too much. But a great question to ask yourself is, why are you here today? Maybe your manager forced you to be here. They said you got to be here. Maybe you saw something during the division meeting, or maybe you've been through a push before and you want to give it a better shot this time. You got to figure out today, though, why are you here today? What do you want to gain from this small 2-hour meeting, this little event? And why do you feel personally? Because I can give you any answer I want to, but for you personally, why is it important that you push yourself, you challenge your own limits, you force yourself to be better? Or do you just want to stay the same, the way you are right now? Okay, the old saying here is if you're not growing, you're dying. So why is it important for you to grow? What is the purpose of that for you? So I'd love to give about 8-9 minutes or so to discuss this in some breakout rooms, groups of 3 or 4, I think, just to give people a chance to bounce some ideas off with some of their peers and get an idea of why you're here, what do you want to gain, and why is it important for you to actually push yourself, to grow yourself, to experience more that life has to offer. All right. So with that, Brad, if you want to open up some breakout rooms, that would be fantastic.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back from the breakout rooms. Welcome back. Those cameras back on. Appreciate y'all for participating in the breakout rooms. We're going to ask for some shares here. So go and take a second to gather some notes. If you'd like to share, I'm just going to ask you to go to the chat box for me and post in there that you'd like to share. We're going to wait till everybody else gets back as well. Cool. Obviously, everybody's back. Wonderful. All right, everybody. So if you're late to the party here, we'd like to just get a couple rounds of shares. We're going to have Saucy J get us started, and then we'll have to volunteer on some folks. We'll have 2 other people after Jasmine shares here in just a second. Haley will have you share second right after Saucy J. And then if there's a third person like to share, just make sure to let me know here. Cody, great to see you. I see you down there. But Saucy J, let me go and find you here. If you want to go and unmute yourself, Jasmine, that'd be spectacular.
Yeah. So why I'm here is because I've been through a push period, and I went to the intro to Alliance, and I felt like I was not ready at the moment. And now with like experience, I feel like I'm ready. I want to try it. I want to be committed to my goal. And I feel that it's important to push myself because, you know, there are things that I get really, really scared to do, but in the end, it's not that it's like, you know, going through like a hill. Like once you get through that top of the hill, like it's all breeze and like great. So I know that pushing myself is for the best of me. And I feel that, what was the other question? What I want to gain from the day is just, you know, trying new things each day, whatever it is, whether, you know, it's something that I'm afraid of or trying something new, you know, like reaching out to my chicken list. That's probably what I would want to do.
Saucy J, thank you so much for sharing, everybody. Let's go ahead and give Saucy J some love in the chat box. Saucy J some love in the chat box. I'm doing snaps. I don't know why I'm doing snaps. I want her to see some love in the chat box. Give her some love in the chat box. Saucy J, Jasmine Saucedo. I appreciate you, Jasmine. Thank you so much for sharing, everybody. Take a listen to that. Wasn't ready at first, but has now decided that she needs to push herself. Jasmine, thank you so much for sharing. Cool. All right, Haley, we got you coming up here next, and I'm going to call on a third person as well. Right after we finish up with Miss Haley here. So if you'd like to share, make sure to let me know in the chat box. But Haley, you are now spotlighted. Welcome to the show. What you got for us?
Cool. So for me, one of the reasons why I'm here is, you know, I think no matter how great you are in this world, you can be the best person, however you define that, but there's always room for improvement. And what I'm hoping to gain from this is also just the knowledge to be able to help our new reps in our office, since I'm an assistant manager, just being able to like share that knowledge with them and help them expand in their growth, but also help me expand in my selling capacities. And one of the reasons why I think it's important to push myself, I kind of shared with my group, but just playing basketball in college, you know, I was a Division I basketball player. And so I was able to find myself my senior year and push myself to my limits with that. But now that I'm retired from basketball and in the real world, just trying to figure out, you know, like what my limits are in the real world and how well I can succeed and how far I can push myself.
That was awesome, Haley. Thank you so much for sharing. You know, Haley, that's a really great point that you bring up. Everybody's got to learn, right? Got to learn how to do better and do more. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and they were talking about coaching, and something that really stuck out to me was he said Tiger Woods has a coach why don't you have a coach? I felt that was very, very similar there, Haley. So thank you so much for sharing. And speaking of basketball players here, I was thinking about calling on Cody for the volunteering part, but Haley, Cody from West Los Angeles was also a divisional basketball player. Cody, I'm going to have you share here. I'm going to put you on the spot here, my guy. So I hope that you are ready, but everybody, this is Cody P from West LA. Thanks so much for sharing. Everybody go and give me some love for Haley in the chat box. Give me some love for Haley in the chat box.
Alibaba.
Amazing, Haley. Thank you so much for sharing. Hype, hype, hype. Absolutely.
Game on, Cody, when you're ready to play.
What's up, y'all? My name is Cody. Y'all can call me KP. I actually, similar to Haley, just got done with my basketball career at LMU. I wanted to be here at this push because I felt it was important to kind of push myself on all cylinders evenly. You know, with Cutco, and also I have a short film coming up this upcoming semester in my master's program that I'm currently working on my script for. So there's a lot of stuff I want to put all of my effort into, because evenly, consistently, and not let anything down on any part. So, yeah.
Love it. I love it, Cody. Learning how to balance all areas and run on all cylinders. I gave a talk a couple of weeks ago to the Western region, and the most powerful cars have the most cylinders. Do not be a Mitsubishi Mirage, everybody. That is the least powerful car on the face of the planet. Be a Bugatti. Don't be a Mitsubishi. I can't even say it. Mirage. Thank you, Cody. Thank you so much for sharing, everybody. Give me some love for Cody in the chat box, the new KP in West LA. Give me some love. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes.
KP number 3. KP number 3.
There's like 4 of them because I'm also technically a KP, but
Well, no, that's why you're like KP number 2. I'm KP number 1. He's KP number 3.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll take it. Hayes, I'm gonna turn it right back over to you to introduce our next speaker.
Perfect. Well, let me just say this, Haley, all the KPs, hit me up whenever. We'll run some ones, and y'all can all get this heat. But with that, if someone wants to go ahead and find Chloe for me, that would be fantastic. I'm super excited about today. Let me tell you this right now. We have 3 phenomenal speakers for you here today to kind of help you deconstruct a push and really help you understand everything you need to go out there and challenge yourself and get the most out of this 2-week period. So we're going to walk you through each step. We're going to walk you through the why, the what, and the how. And we're very honored today to start off with the one and only Chloe Webb. All right. Now, Chloe is the newest of our speakers by far, and someone that I was super excited to get on our agenda today because Chloe has done, well, just about all of it, right? She's been one of the top representatives here as a new rep. She was the number 2 representative in all of Southland last year in our, virtual program, and really someone that produced great amounts of CPO, success, energy, just amazing things last summer, right? She produced a $12,000 push period and is currently taking on the challenge to really grow herself to run her own branch office right now, while being a full-time student throughout the school year. So to walk you all through why the why matters. You've heard so many times probably start with why, and your why is important, but to really walk you through why that's important and how to really find that in yourself, ladies and gentlemen, help me bring up and share some love in the chat box for the one and only Chloe Webb. Chloe, take it from here. Let me go and stop screen sharing. You got control.
All right, awesome. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Whoa, that is way too big. Hold on. All right, so why is why important? If you've been here for a long time, you've heard this 1,000 times. Know your why, right? So why do you have to know your why? Well, when your why is strong enough, it takes you out of yourself. So you have to find a why that you connect with. And I mean fully emotionally, intellectually, spiritually connect with, so that despite all the challenges and frustrations that you face, you will overcome all of them, right? Your why is your fuel behind all the action you're willing to take in order to achieve your goals, especially in the face of adversity. And your why is important because it takes you out of yourself. It is your way out of selfishness, which is really your way out of fear, right? Fear is when we return to protecting ourselves. And so who here, whether you've been here for 4 years or 4 days, have come across something that scares you a little bit while working here? Yeah. All of us should have our, be thinking of ourselves, right? Then it looks like, you need to connect with your why. And that's why I'm here. So let's talk about the Golden Circle. The Golden Circle was coined by Simon Sinek, and it explains why some organizations and leaders are able to inspire and why some aren't. So this circle starts with what, right? Every business owner knows what they do. And, we, for example, show the world's finest set of cutlery. Most of us know how to do it, phone time, demos, closing. But very, very few of us know why we do what we do. And by why, I mean, what's your purpose? What's your cause? Why does your business exist? And why do you get out of bed in the morning, right? Why should anyone care? So people are designed to act from the outside in, the most concrete things to the fuzziest things. But the inspired business people and the inspired leaders, regardless of how new they are or the size of their business, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out, starting with their why. So here's an example. If Apple, for example, were like anyone else, their marketing message might sound like this. What are we? We make great computers. How? They're beautifully designed and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Right? So they're like, oh, let me ask my husband. I don't know. So unfortunately, that's not how, that's how a lot of us sell our knives, right? We know it's a great product. They know it's a great product. But a sale is an emotional decision based on facts. There's no emotion in knowing that it's a great product. And so when you sell like this, you sell less, but you also most likely don't work as hard because it's just selling knives. But here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. That way we can challenge the status quo. We do that by making great products that are beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. And we just happen to make good computers. Want to buy one? Right? Totally different. And that's why you have to move from the inside out. So how do you figure out your why? First, I want to cover the neuroscience of motivation. So there's a center in the brain called the striatum. This registers your goals, your visions, the parts of your brain that moves you towards them. And so the question is, what activates the striatum? The number one thing that moves you towards your goals, your whys, your aspirations is your why. And the more clear you are in your why, the more motivated you are to achieve your goals. So it's not enough to know your why, but you need to be connected to it and feel it on a consistent basis. So how do you identify it? So I'm going to ask everyone a series of questions. If you're not taking notes, now's the time to start. And I want you all to jot down the answers. Now, you can go back to these later, but I want you to just brainstorm with me now. The first question I want you to answer is, what is your vision, your goal, or what you're working towards for this push? If you don't know this yet, talk to your manager. But once you have that down, more importantly, why does this goal matter to you, right? Why does this goal matter to you? And I want everyone to unpack your answer in 3 layers. The first is, why is it important to you personally? That could be skill development, character development, mental toughness, but it could also be earning material things like saving up for your car, paying for your housing in college, or even just being able to take your mom out to get her nails done, right? Okay, so the second layer is relationally. Why does this matter to those you care about? That can be your family now, parents, siblings, significant others, but it can also be your family in the future, your kids, your spouse, the future generations. And it could be anyone that you're working with that you're really close to. For many of us, it's our manager, assistant managers, or teammates. We heard Haley earlier talking about how she wants to be a good representative for her team. And then the third layer is the bigger picture. Why does this matter to your community, your society, or the world? And you can make this as big as you want. Why does it matter to your customers, for our reps? Why does it matter for your team, for our managers? Why does this affect the world, however big you want it? So after you've really gotten to the bottom of why you're doing what you're doing, look at your whys constantly. You put it up on Post-it notes, you change your lock screen, put it up on widgets on your phone, create a vision board. Really, really put your whys everywhere. Tell everyone, right? And so why is going big for the push an elite opportunity to develop a strong why? Well, my second push was the first time ever I discovered my why. It was the first time in my life that I was able to connect to a why strong enough to pull me out of any adversity. And that is a skill that I hold close to my heart to this day. In my first push, I was committed to selling 10K. And Anthony, you'll probably remember this. Anthony was my coach, my last push. But with my stats at the time, that meant doing at least 5 demos a day. Most days I would do 6, making 858 calls in total. And I was all in. And at the end of the push, I did everything right. I committed to the effort. I did more than I should have. And I only sold 6K. So what was I missing? I had no why. So in my second push of that year, my manager, Hans, came to me and suggested a 12K push. Now, I'd never sold 12K. The most I'd ever sold in a push period was 10K. And previous to that, I just missed my 10K goal. So I was not feeling good, as you can imagine. But so immediately I declined his offer. There's no way I could hit that. I said I had only sold 6K in my last push. But then Hans said, and I'll never forget this, how badass would it be if you could double that this push? You would prove to yourself and to everyone else that you had become the type of person to reach your goals through all the adversity you faced last push. And I faced adversity. Everyone here who knows me knows that I went 12 demos and sold 1 coffee bag, okay? If that's not adversity, I don't know what is. And that was a switch I needed to flip, right? I had my first why. I needed to prove everyone wrong. Most importantly, I needed to prove myself wrong. And after that, the whys kept coming. If I sold 12K, it would be enough to cover my dorming for school. If I sold 12K, I would be able to expand my comfort zone and become the woman that I would want to become. If I sold 12K, I would be one step closer to graduating debt-free so my mom wouldn't have to worry about me. And for those 2 weeks, I shared these whys with everyone I came across, the grocery store baggers, my parents, my teachers, anyone. And guess what? I sold that 12K, right? Was I the best salesperson? Hell no. Was I a hard worker? Yes. And did I have a why? Yeah, I did. And so if you take one thing from today's talk, I want you to take this. Because I set big goals for myself and for my first push, and I committed to the process of hitting those goals, I became the person that would hit my goals in my second push. And because I set my goals high for my second push, I learned why is important. Thank you.
Absolute fire. Blow up that chat box. Show her some love. I need to see Queen in there like 1,500 times right now. Chloe, that was phenomenal. That was a fantastic talk about developing whys and really just understanding where those come from and taking that TED talk in there as well. Phenomenal. Hey, here's how you can really share. I love the giant paragraph there, Tiffany. Here's how you can really share what you're getting from this talk, though, is here's what we love to see. And I don't mean to put any pressure on you, but if you already have an idea of what that why looks like, or maybe you just got a great nugget from Chloe right there, drop that in the chat box. Let us know, what are some of your whys? What are some of the reasons that you're here? Maybe if you didn't share for the entire group right now, drop some of your whys here in the chat box, or just what's something you took away from Chloe that you can start implementing and using and thinking about moving forward. Let me know in the chat box. Hit us up with some good stuff here so we can make sure you are getting the most out of today's interaction and event. Oh, that's yes, there you go. Tired of selling for good enough. Fantastic, right? Good stuff. I just got here. Great. We've been here. Love that. Good stuff. Connect with your why. Short term, more tattoos. All right, there we go, Katie. Long term, being debt free for college. Okay, breaking the fear. Prove I can still put my best effort into something again. All right, the goal thermometer. How crazy cool are goal thermometers? In fact, Chloe, as I was looking at your goal thermometer, I was like, do I have one of mine still? And I went out and actually found mine from when I won my first scholarship back in 2017, which I thought was kind of cool. I was like, dude, I still have this thing. And back when we used to be able to have people sign them and all that. So you guys see the little signatures on there as well. So there we go. So like I said, the first part of today was going to be just understanding why, right? Why do you do it? Why do you want to go after it? Why are you going to work hard? Why are you going to commit even when you go 0 for 12 and just sell a bag of coffee? And here's what I'll tell you. If you're really pushing hard, that's going to happen. That should happen. And I can almost guarantee you that will happen, right? When we started the event today, I asked Jay Brad and I said, hey, Jay Brad, how do you know when it's push? And he was like, oh, you just feel it. I go, it's push when stuff starts getting weird. Like just challenges are just flying at you, right? And so I can tell you right now, I know it's push time because those things are happening right now. So with that, I'm very excited to bring up our next speaker. And our next speaker, I tell her this every single time I talk to her, but she's one of the most critically acclaimed person we have that can speak at our events. Every single time she talks, I get nothing but praise about how great it was to get her on the agenda. So if someone go ahead and do me a favor, go ahead and spotlight Ms. Chase Bergendahl for me and then find her on the screen, that would be fantastic. I'll tell you a little bit about Chase and we're starting up here. From what I can remember, Chase started back in 2017. All right. In fact, I was actually at Chase's training. I got to sit in the back, and I remember telling NJ, I said to her, she's going to be awesome. And Chase now, since that time, has produced over $300,000 in sales. She's currently the number 8 representative in the entire Southland division for the year right now. And with, you know, the OC Fair coming up, I know it's going to just go absolutely bananas and start dropping bombs here left and right. And has produced a push over $24,000 in sales in a 2-week sales period. Chase is one of our CSPs, one of our top representatives here, and someone with just an amazing, just magnetic personality that you're going to want to listen to and take notes from all darn day. So with that, further ado, Chase, I will go ahead and stop sharing, and you are on.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay? I'm not blurry. You can hear me. Nothing crazy. All right. I see a bunch of thumbs up. All right. Thank you so much for letting me speak. I don't even know why I'm here, but appreciate that. Y'all are great. Chloe, that talk was phenomenal. You are so professional. Slides like that. I took so many notes. Like, I hope all of you guys are taking notes today, because the fact that you even have this Alliance event before a push, that's incredible. That is, you have no idea what a head start you all are getting just by being here today. I remember my very first event, it was SC1. And I was a baby rep. I showed up, I look around, all these people are selling knives. I'm like, where the heck am I? And then all of a sudden, people are standing up and they're getting trophies. And I'm like, I want a trophy. But of course, you know, I didn't know how to have a proper executed push. And so I didn't. My point is, the fact that you are here tonight, you are having a head start to set you up for success, to take control of your business and maximize your personal growth and your income potential. So Chloe talked about the why. She did an incredible job. Now we're going to talk about what it takes to go big like a boss. Now, just the word push, do you know what push even stands for? I'm a big fan of acronyms, helps me to think of things. Write this down. Persist until something happens. I would even add persist until something extraordinary happens. For those of you who know Hal Elrod in the Cutco world, he's very famous. He created a formula called the miracle equation. Unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort equals miracles. Now, within the Cutco world, push miracles, they happen. It is a real thing. You will have your biggest day, your biggest month, and your biggest month after this. Now, what happens when those things occur? Something happens in your brain. Your belief changes. A lot of times you say, I'll believe it when I see it. So when you see yourself hitting these big numbers, having these big days, these big weeks, your personal belief of what you're capable of, your unwavering faith in your ability, that is the first step in achieving massive results in life, no matter what you do. Just having that confidence in what you're capable of. I was in a breakout room with, I believe it was Ashley, and one of the things she talked about was, I want to gain my confidence. That's what this push will do for you. You will be a whole different person. I know when I first started, I was not really a big push rep. I didn't really believe in myself, to be honest. I didn't think I could ship a 10K, 15K push. I thought that the people that did do that, they ate and slept Cutco, and it wasn't for me. But one day, I was living in New York at the time, and I knew that I had an income potential to go back to California, service my past customers, and meet new customers. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna commit. And I remember I only had a 2.5 week period, and I just sat down. I scheduled every inch of those 2.5 weeks. I remember I said no to all my summer plans, and I just pushed. And I worked so hard. I was exhausted, but that is how I reached my 24K. Now, what do you think my belief is now? I can do anything. I can shoot for the stars. And that's how you will feel by the end of this push. So that is extraordinary faith, giving yourself a chance to see what you're capable of, and that's how miracles happen. Now, extraordinary effort, the actually how-tos, that's what I'm going to teach you right now. Write this down. Make what you do a product of your decisions, not a product of your feelings. So I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to go big like a boss. Again, I like acronyms. So for push, number 1 is protect your time. Number 2 is use a schedule. Number 3 is share your goals. And number 4 is happy thoughts. So protect your time. Guys, it's summer. Everyone is going to want to invite you to go to the beach, to go to the movies. Your family's going to want to have barbecues. Now, you don't want to be rude. You don't want to be like, oh, sorry, I can't hang out with you. No, you want to let your friends and family know ahead of time. Look, I have this big push coming up. It's 17 days. Like, if you need me, let me know and I'll schedule you in. But you're a boss. You have to protect the time that you have. So any projects that you have, if you need to get an oil change, do that now. If you have a dentist appointment, reschedule that for next month. If you really want to take advantage and maximize this time, delete your social media. You can survive. If not, at least put limits on it. You will save so much more time. Number 2, use a schedule. Like a boss, you should know exactly what your schedule is every hour. When I know I have to really be on my game, I actually use a paper planner, and I also use a Google Calendar. I use a paper planner because I like to see my schedule. I like to write it down. I like to visualize and create it. But I also forget, like we all do. So I use my Google Calendar to give me alert reminders and to keep me on track. So honestly, do both. So what should you put on your schedule? You should have your phone times, your demo slot times, whenever you're doing training on Zooms, what time you're going to go to sleep. In fact, try to go to bed earlier. Studies have shown that if you're more rested, you get better sleep when you go to sleep earlier than later, even if you had the same amount of sleep time. It's crazy. Make sure you plan time to exercise, to go outside. Guys, this is a very virtual job. Go outside, do phone time at a park. Make sure you're getting fresh air. Make sure you're doing things that give you positive endorphins, that make you happy. That's super important. Now is the time to go grocery shopping, get yourself healthy food. I don't want you going to McDonald's and fueling up on junk food, because what's that gonna do? It's just gonna make you exhausted, because energy equals CPO, and you need energy right now. Now, number 3, share your goals with everyone. A lot of successful business people, they create a vision and they bring people with them on their journey. And that's exactly what you're doing. You need to share what you're trying to accomplish, share your why, share your goal with, first of all, your parents, so that they're on board with you. That way they're not mad at you for maybe you're not cleaning your room. Like, look, I have a goal, I have a vision, just bear with me, let them know so that you're on the same page. And most importantly, share your goals with your customers. I sell so much more when I get my customers excited. They see that I'm working towards this big goal. Your energy and your excitement will transfer to that customer, and they're going to be so impressed. They're going to be like, wow, my kid is just like lazy on his phone all day, or they're just hanging out with their friends. Like, this young person, they are going places. I want to be a part of that. I want to help them. So one of the best ways, you guys have seen it earlier in this meeting, create a goal thermometer. There's nothing better than just having them see visually where you're at, how hard you're working. What I would do is I would have my customers sign it. So I'd have their names along the way. In your case, just you can write the names of the customers yourself, so they can see how many people have helped you thus far, and how they will be on that journey with you as well. Number 4 for push success is happy thoughts. Now, for those of you who are a little bit more analytical, that might seem a little like mumbo jumbo, but honestly, start your day with something positive for both your mind and your body. Listen to something that you enjoy, music, a podcast, a workout, go for a walk, go somewhere in nature, even visualize what your day is going to be like. Visualize yourself making a phone call, Mrs. Jones being super nice, you booking that demo, visualize you closing that homemaker sale. Just get yourself excited for that day, for that week, and even for that push. Now, morning success yields daily success. So make sure you have a good morning routine, because how you start off in the morning is going to make or break how you feel for the rest of the day. And as far as your days go, there's no good days and there's no bad days. Okay? Don't have an ego. Take nothing personal. The next 17 days, it doesn't matter what your results are. All that matters are the actions. You do the actions, the results follow. Look at the big picture. Think about, where am I going to be 17 days from now by doing this? Don't tell yourself negative stories, and don't listen to negative stories. Don't spread it. Don't listen to it. Shut the world of negativity out from you. Another thing that's been very impactful for me is creating an affirmation. Language is one of the ways that our mind is influenced. And it's a way for us to get the results that we want. Information impacts our behavior. So what we tell ourselves is usually what's going to happen. So what I want you guys to do is real quick, create some sort of mantra, some sort of affirmation for what you can tell yourself throughout those good or throughout those bad days. For example, I, Chase Bergendahl, I am capable of accomplishing anything I want in life. I am so happy and grateful to have this opportunity for personal growth, for income potential. I am an amazing qualified sales rep. I am confident I have the energy and the skill level to attract people to Cutco, and I know I can give them the best experience I can. Whatever way you want to word that, create some sort of affirmation tonight that you can keep in your notes, keep them on your phone, make it your screensaver, something that you can repeat to yourself to switch your brain into more of a positive frame of mind. The moment you create your own affirmation, you will be able to do so much more with the job. Now, so we talked about protecting your time. We talked about using a schedule, sharing your goals, having happy thoughts. Make a decision to go after your goal and create that plan of action. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, this was a lot of information, so go ahead and go back to Chloe's talk, go back to my talk. We have another incredible talk after this with Connor Kelly. Make sure you star your top takeaways, and I want you on a separate piece of paper, either on your phone, on a notebook. I want you to write down action steps you can do by tomorrow night. By Sunday night, these are the things that you want to take care of in order to prepare for push. All right, go big, be a boss. I'll see you at SC1.
Go big, be a boss, from the boss yourself, Chase Bergendahl. Amazing. Same idea. Hey, blow up that shop box, share some love. We give love in this division. It's how we do things. Make sure you let her know how much you appreciate that. Amazing value there. Yes, grapes for Chase. Hold up. Here we go. Here you go, Chase. Grapes for you. Okay. There you go. Oh. There we go. Grape dance. I love it. All right. Hey, same idea. I love that. I love how she told you right there what to do from here. What are your action steps, right? Take some time, start your notes, figure out what do I need to have ready for me tomorrow as I embark on this journey starting Monday. What are the things you want to have ready? Whether that is making sure you provide time for happy thoughts. I think that was a huge tip. I love that. Whether it's, finding the days where you can go make some phone time at a park, which let me say, that is one of the most fun things. I can remember making calls back at, down in San Clemente Beach, back when I was branch my first time. That is absolutely phenomenal, and that is a great tip right there. So Chase, thank you so much again for that message, for that information. Like I told you guys, she's just awesome. It's someone that you just can't hear enough of every single time. So be on the lookout. She will be giving a Champs Club this upcoming week here as well. So you make sure you have all those Champs Clubs in your schedule here moving forward. All right. So with that, let's bring it on home, and then we'll get some time to kind of debrief and look at all the nuggets you guys are getting here today. But with that, Edson, if you want to go and pull up the slides for me right now, dude, look at that, ready to go, the GOAT. All right, we are going to finish things off here with the how. And if someone wants to go and find Connor for us, that would be fantastic as well. As I tell you a little bit about Connor. Connor is currently, Connor was the #1 representative in our entire division last year. He's over $2.5 million in sales, part of the Cutco Hall of Fame, produced over $30,000 in a single push period. One of our top tier, absolutely just amazing CSPs, and someone that's really affected my business at a high level as well. For those of you guys that train with me or have trained with me, you've heard me talk about getting to field train with some of the top people in the entire company. And Connor was one of those people for me that really changed the game for my business back in 2017 and 2018 as I went into a little more full-time representative sales, during college. And so to give you all the 10K guide, help you deconstruct and break down a $10,000 push period by the numbers, so you know exactly what each and every step needs to be. The one, the only, Mr. Connor Kelly himself. Connor, when you are ready, whenever you need a slide, click, just go ahead and say click, and Edson will be operating your slides here today. You're on.
That was really awesome seeing Shay speak, by the way, because I was able to watch her as a brand new rep at the fair, and she didn't really know much of what she was doing, and kind of watch her develop and how she's become kind of the top reps now, which is pretty sweet. So that was cool to hear. And then also I just want to thank Anthony and Kuval, Chloe, NJ, Jay, Brad, Hans, and all the other managers for having me on. I've been wanting to give back a little bit for a while now. So I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to come on and speak to the division. So as far as 10K pushes goes, my story is pretty interesting because I started in October of 2008, and my first summer in 2009, I was a branch manager. So I didn't actually even get to have my first full summer as a rep to go for a 10K push. I was teaching other reps that. And so by the time 2010 came around, I took it very seriously and I went for 10K in a big way. I did like a 3-day phone jam beforehand. I prepared my list, and challenges hit. It's kind of funny how Anthony said things get weird when push comes up. When you just in general in life, when you set a big goal for anything, whether it be start up your own business or graduate from this school or do anything, if it's a huge goal, there's always going to be challenges that hit you pretty much instantly. It's just kind of the way things roll with the world and the universe, I guess. And for me, I was really close to 10K on the last day of push, and I woke up and I had 6 appointments ahead of me, and I woke up with the flu, and it was really bad flu too. And so my manager gave me a big jug of orange juice and said, "No, you got to do it." And there wasn't like all the new COVID. Nowadays, I probably would have worn a mask and not done my appointments, but this is 2008 we're talking about. And I went to all my appointments and I sold 0. I went 0 for 6. I ended up still hitting 10K by texting some key customers and kind of making it happen at the end, which was pretty awesome. But it was definitely my last day of push was one of my terrible days, which I'll talk about that here in a second. But I do have 3 tips for you guys, 3 nuggets. I'm going to leave it with for everybody. The slide would move to the next one if there's a button from that. That went a little too far. There we go. So I'm talking about the 4 quadrant mindset, and then your phone is your credit card, and then the momentum factor. Those are going to be my main 3 keys for you guys. So when we talk about breaking down push into quadrants, that would be the next slide. There are 4 quarters or quadrants. I usually call them quarters. So there's 4 quarters, just like let's say a championship basketball game. There's 4 quarters, and towards the last quarter is when all the players are actually moving their feet and really running hard and trying to get that win. And the first and second and third quarter, it's usually not as intense. And so quarter 1, I have to break it down from the first week of push, which would be Monday through Thursday. 2 would be Friday through Sunday, and then Monday through Thursday, and then quarter 4 would be Friday through Tuesday, which would be the last day of push on that last Tuesday. And as far as the way the days break down is that there is 4 different kinds of days you can have when you're having going for a big push. There's your average days, which let's say if you do 4 appointments in a day, or 5 appointments, 6 appointments, however many you break down on that particular day, you're going to hit the averages, which means that you're going to sell. If you do 6 appointments, you're going to do, maybe half of them are going to buy, and then you're going to get about a 250 to 350 average order size, and you're going to hopefully hit $1,000, maybe 750, and you're going to feel good about it because you hit the averages. It wasn't a huge day, but it's in line with your goal, so you're going to feel pretty good about it. You're going to get some leads and whatnot, and then you're going to have your amazing days where I've had some crazy experiences when it comes to huge days and appointments. I remember my biggest single day I ever had. I sold 2 Cutco kitchens on the same day to different customers. And then I sold like 2 other flatware chests and then like an upgrade. And I remember the day because Nate Ferrer was working appointments that same day. And I texted him that I had sold a Cutco kitchen, and he actually sold one that same day too, just to kind of spite me. We ended up selling the exact same amount that day, which is like $12,000 on one day, which was pretty exciting. And I was also driving all over the place that day. I drove like 3 or 4 hours that day. But that was one of my most amazing days I've ever had. But amazing days, you never know what's going to happen on an amazing day. When you're going for push and you're spreading your goals and you're sharing your goals to a high level and you're getting people bought in on what you're trying to accomplish, you can move mountains. It's crazy the way things work with sharing goals and getting people bought in, having that good rapport with a customer, especially with the fact that we have that amazing 5-pay plan where you can, somebody could drop customers out there can easily spend, $1,200 a month for 5 months and get a Coco Kitchen. Especially if somebody that's that type of customer that's just sick of their cookware, sick of their flatware, sick of their knives, they just want to start fresh, or that customer who's just finishing a remodel or just bought a new house, something like that. There's customers are out there. So always make sure that you're pushing for those big orders. And then there's also, you're going to be your terrible days. And those days have happened to me. I just explained one of them. And I think one of the greatest differences between a new rep and an experienced rep is that a terrible day will happen to me. It doesn't even faze me at all. I had a terrible day today, actually. And I sold nothing today. So that was a terrible day. And I'm still happy I'm home. I'm with my family here a little later. And it's just a part of the business. You're going to have bad days. That's just how it goes. If you look at the whole month for somebody like myself, who's a career sales rep, usually in the whole month, there's going to be one terrible week, but one really good week, and then 2 average weeks. But the terrible week, you always kind of feel down about it a little bit, but as an experienced person, it doesn't affect you. And that's what brings me to the last day that we'll have during push, which is your wild card days. So that's what makes the difference between a 10K rep, somebody who hits the 10K mark, and somebody who maybe gets close or doesn't hit it, or just in general, a top performer versus somebody who might not be a top performer, is how somebody responds during the good days and the bad days. So let's say if you just had a great day, are you gonna the next day be like, oh, I had a good day, like I don't need to work today, or I don't need to make those 3 phone jams today, or I don't need to get up at whatever time that you're supposed to get up to be on the Alliance phone jam in the morning, because you got a good day. And then what happens that next day becomes a bad day, even though you just had a great day. That next wild card day becomes a bad day just because you weren't completely committed to your goals, and you let yourself off the gas even though you had a great day. And then even more so, what happens with reps, especially new reps, is you have a terrible day and you're like, oh my God, I'm over it. I just want to go to the beach. And, you're kind of like just about to give up on the whole thing just because you had one bad day. And that, I tell you, I've had some terrible days that happened. And then the next day was a great day, because even though I had a terrible day, I hopped on the phones that night. I scheduled some same day appointments, and or did some kind of extra something to create the next day to be a good day, and still woke up the next day to make it happen, even though I had just went through a terrible day. So it's a kind of the analogy I like to use is like a roller coaster. So as much as there's like the ups and downs, you want to keep it as smooth as possible. Even if you have a good day, keep yourself reined in and still work. Or if you had a bad day, then boost yourself up and still work. The most important thing is to just keep your level of working exactly the same, regardless of having a great day, bad day, or average day. And I would like to also explain a little bit of how to have a 10K push on the next slide. I actually broke down the math here. I think that Anthony also changed it a little bit, but is there a way to go to the next slide here? Here we go. Deconstructing a 10K push. So if you can just go ahead and show all of it right there, just kind of keep clicking until it shows all of them. Here we go, cool. So when you're trying to have a 10K push, let's say if you have a $300 average order size, which is I think is the national average for reps, you're gonna need to create about 33 handwritten orders, or now with the app, you're gonna have to submit 33 orders total. And so if you divide that by a 60% closing, and then also add in about 10 appointments, because sometimes we have those ones that cancel on us, porches, you always want to account for that during push. So you put it at 55 appointments. You can make 10 calls per appointment. On average, usually takes about 10 calls, ring, ring. This person says, call me back. This person says whatever, and then you book one on the 10th call. That's going to be about 550 calls you're going to have to make, which is why making time for the phone jams are so important, making sure that you're not the one that's missing those Alliance phone jams, not the one who's missing any phone jam, really. And so that's going to be 16 days of push. You break that down, it's 35 calls per day, which if you go to the next slide, 35 calls a day is not that hard when you break that down into 3 phone jams. That's 12 calls per phone jam if you're doing 3 phone jams in a day. And so the exciting thing about that is, since you are making so many phone calls, your phone becomes your credit card. So you have to change the way you're thinking about it and be excited to make calls, because the minimum income you'll make during push selling 10 grand is $2,000 to $2,000. And that's the goal for the summer for a new rep, is to come out of the summer with money in your pocket, you know, paying for books, or if you're not in school, you know, just having money to spend to do fun things and travel and whatnot. And Cutco is a great opportunity for that. I've met so many people that have done so many amazing things with Cutco, using Cutco as a vehicle. When I was new, one of the people, I forget her name, but she was out of Huntington Beach, and she used to build wells in Africa. She would sell a certain amount, and she would use that as her why during push. And she would end up actually building wells in Africa using her Cutco money. So there's a significant amount of money to be made with Cutco if you commit to the process that we're explaining to you here. And that's going to be about $3.64 you're making per phone call. So really, that means you're making, if you push it one more time, I think there's another thing there where you're making 36 cents per digit. If you're doing 1310 991, you know, so you're like literally cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. So when you're sitting there, you want to be making calls. And I remember when I was the new rep, the way that I would do it is I actually bought a little expensive phone at the phone store that was like a simple mobile plan. It's like $40 a month, unlimited text and phone calls. And so I'd have two phones, and I would literally mark off on my list left and right, so that this phone was on the right hand. And so I would remember, like, hey, if this person answers, it's on the right side, and then this person answers the left side. And I would call it that phone time. And I'd be calling two people, and then this person would answer, and I hang this one up. I'm like, hey. And then back after that calls over, back to calling two people. And I would literally be jamming to my list, getting rid of the not answers to get to the next one faster. So like the way that you have to bring energy to the phones is on a high level is really where the money is made. So don't be shy about that. Definitely make the calls and do the morning phone jams. Can't tell you how many times I've been up at 7 a.m. Making calls, calling customers at 7 a.m., calling them, and they're awake at those times. I tell you what, people are awake. They're not our age. They're executives. They're business owners. They're doctors. They're nurses. These people are not sleeping at 7 a.m. So sometimes that's the only time to catch them also. So make sure that you guys are making those calls. And that brings me to my next tip, is the momentum factor. So on the next slide, there is the EQ versus IQ that I also going to talk about when it comes to Cutco, because there is people out there that will go through college and graduate and have no experience because they just went from their BA right to master's and couldn't find a job, so they just continued with college. And that's kind of like a ticket to apply. How you get the job is really having that experience. And this push period is such a huge opportunity to be able to put on your resume that you sold $10,000 on a 2-week push period and you went through all the challenges. And the emotional quotient of any kind of business owner or any person that is a high-level executive, that's really what people want when they're hiring or doing anything when it comes to doing with their business. It's all about EQ compared to IQ. And the learning curve that you have with Cutco during a 10K push period, where you're at right now listening to this talk and where you're going to be at the end of push is because you've pushed yourself so hard and you did so many appointments in a short amount of time. Also learning so much because your managers are going to be having those alliance meetings with you guys. So applying new things and also working and applying them very hard and over again repetitively, and also going through the challenges and overcoming those, you guys are going to be able to be so much stronger for the rest of the summer. And if you guys stick with this Cutco thing for like a career-wise, which I'm proof that it's possible, as far as I've been selling Cutco for 13 years and I'm over 2.5 million, and I support my family, and I have identical twin boys that are 3.5 years old, and I'm a single father. So I'm out here doing it. It's possible. You guys can do it too. So it's all about overcoming the challenges and growing from this experience and getting as much income as you can in a short period. Oh yeah, single dad. Yep, that's right. So as far as the next thing I wanted to share with you guys is that you guys actually, if you guys, oh yes, all you need is 10 leads. So that's something that my manager always told me. I remember when I first started my first big push parade, I think I made my list and I was like, oh shoot, I only had like 15 leads, or I think it was 10. And there's also been 2 times in my career with Cutco as a sales rep that I lost my backpack and lost all my leads, just gone. And so I've had to start over twice. And push parades are a great way, a great excuse to get out there and get more leads. I remember I used to put little post notes on doors of all my neighbors saying, hey, this is Connor from Cutco. I'm Connor, I'm your neighbor. And I want to ask you a quick question. Please give me a call. And I get people calling me and I would explain to them the whole Cutco pitch and explain how I'm a college student. And I would get leads that way. I would actually go knock on doors. I started knocking on doors literally of my neighbors. Hey, I live right there. That's my house. How's it going? I'm working for this big push. Can you help me out? And all kinds of ways. I hit up all my old customers, ask them for leads. I would think of new, fresh leads that I had never thought of, because there's always people like little connections. My church was a huge one when I was a brand new rep. I would remember they had a little church directory at my church, and I would just go through the directory and look at like, okay, that's a good family. I'm gonna call them. Hey, this is Connor from your church, and that was huge actually. So there's all kinds of ways that you guys can think of to find and do more appointments. So other than that, guys, just to bring it home, my main 3 tips once again are just have a 4-quadrant mindset. Your phone is your credit card, and also the momentum factor. Oh yes, and then keep in mind that when you're doing this many appointments, you're going to end the push with so many leads that you're going to have no problem having, $2,000 weeks after this, at least having that 1K string going easily after this, because you're going to have so many fresh leads after working hard for this push parade. So that's my talk. Hope you guys got some good nuggets from it. And actually, I'll share my email with you guys in case anybody has any questions. It's cutcoconnor@gmail. So it's, CONOR, so 1 N, OR @gmail.com. And so you guys can ask me questions if you guys, during push or anything really. I'm really good at selling Cutco kitchens. I sold a lot of Cutco kitchens recently. I sold 2 during the recent mall we did. And my average order size at events right now is over $1,000. And I sell Cutco on federal bases. So I go to military bases and I travel around a lot selling Cutco. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Boom, I love it. I like he said, I'm really good at selling Cutco kitchens. And I was like, you could have just stopped at Cutco, Connor. He's really good at selling Cutco. Here's what I'll tell you right now. You guys always got access to a CSPU over $2.5 million in CPO's email. And some of you are going to take that and you're going to send him like an email an hour. Some of you are going to take that, send him 1 email. It's like, hey, how do I sell more Cutco? And it's going to be useless. And some of you are never going to touch that at all. And I want to tell you right now, I would take full advantage of the fact that Connor just said like, hey, here's my email, shoot me some goods. But hey, real quick, guys, you know the drill. Make sure you're sharing some love for the King Connor here, for giving you guys the absolute goods, bringing some stories. I love hearing some of those early stories from Connor. Obviously, being 13 years in the business, all we hear is about how great you are now. But I love hearing some of those initial stories, initial, struggles and challenges that you overcame. It shows, we kind of just all started at the same place. I think it's fantastic. And I love that concept there of all you need is 10 leads. So thank you again, Connor, for taking some time to speak with the division here, talking to some of the new people here. And here's what I'll tell y'all, go hard for this push, kick some butt, and get yourself in the opportunity to start working events with people like Chase and like Connor. So you have the opportunity to be around them. Because here's what I'll tell you, even if you're planning on being a long-term rep or a manager, as someone who went the management route, spending time with people like Connor, like Nate, like Leah Eliopoulos, and getting the chance to be around them helped me learn how to sell Cutco at a higher level so that I can now train people like my representatives and my branch managers on how to best serve their representatives and their customers to be great. So thank you again, Connor, for taking some time, kicking some butt with us. That is phenomenal. That was great there. And J. Brad did not lie. You absolutely crushed that thing. So thank you for that, sir. All right, with that, guys, here, we are going to start wrapping things on up here. So first things first, since Edson, you already got the slides up, if you want to go ahead and hit the next slide for me, let's start bringing things together. So here's what's time to start doing. It's time to start making decisions, right? And here's one of the things that I heard this week during a coaching call. I know Kuval told you guys on Wednesday, but my coach, one of our coaches, he said, decide. What does it mean to decide? And the literal root translation of decide means to cut off all other options. So what's important to do is to understand what that means for you. So here's the first thing I need you to understand is, what is your goal? What are you shooting for? What do you want to get after? Right? Because if your goal doesn't have a number, it's not tangible, you can't trace it, you can't break it down, you're never going to be able to accomplish it. So here is the breakdown of some simple push goals. Here are some of the basic standard goals, you could say, right? If you're sitting here right now and you're not sure if you can go that big just yet. I love how Jasmine was very honest. That, I don't know if I was ready to go after a large goal just yet. Well, that's what a $4,000 push is for. It's 2K weeks, essentially. It's 22 total demos, 13 orders. It's a couple of demos a day. And that means getting to 3 of our Champs Clubs meetings every single week, which will be at 9:30 a.m. It's getting to at least a phone jam a week and knocking out 10 calls per day. Right? At 7,000, you're looking at 38 demos, 23 orders, a couple of demos a day. That's 5 Champs Clubs a week, couple phone jams, or 5 Champs Clubs a week, 2 phone jams per week, 20 calls per day. And of course, the premiere, the thing that I remember hearing my 11th day on the job, my manager said, the best of the best go after a 10K push. And they create $10,000 in 2 weeks. And I was so new. I just finished up my fast start. I simply said, well, I'm here to be the best. That's what I got to go after. And like Connor broke down with you, that breaks down to 56 demos, 33 orders. It's 3 to 4 demos a day. It's making it to all the Champs Clubs, getting all of the coaching, all of the training, all of the learning, 3 phone jams a week, 35 calls per day. It's 35 cents a call, right? We went over as well for that total income. All right. So here's what's going to happen. Edson's going to play some music here in a moment. All right. 36 cents. There you go, Josh. Okay. Edson's going to play some music here in a moment. And here's a couple questions I want you to start thinking about. We're going to do some breakout room time for you to discuss some of this, what you went over here today with your peers. All right. I want you to think about, where are you leaning? What are you starting to think about? What's starting to kind of, formulate here for you as far as what you're thinking about with this upcoming push period. Right. And once you have that goal in mind, why would you want to achieve it? What would that mean to you? Taking some of the things Chloe talked about, why would you want to achieve that goal? What would that do for you? Right? What would that create for your confidence, for your bank account? Where would that put you financially? How could that boost up your resume? How could that allow you to advance and improve, or get some more time around top tier representatives, top tier managers, top tier, peers within your organization, or throughout your networking through appointments? What could that do for the others around you? Like Haley mentioned, that by being greater herself, that allows her to better serve her representatives as an assistant manager. Right? The great thing is, what do you need to achieve that goal, right? What are the things you need to do based on Connor's talk and on Chase's talk in order to do that? Whether that is learning to clear your schedule, protecting your time, mapping out a plan, breaking down the numbers with your manager, working on your list, putting up some Post-it notes. What would that look like? And then a great thing to think about now is, what obstacles could get in your way? What do you know is going to come up? 4th of July is next Sunday. That's part of the push. That's simply just part of it. It's in there. What is your plan for that, right? What are the times where your friends are going to want to hang out and you're going to have a hard time saying, I need to do another demo? Where do you know the obstacles are going to come? Because you got to understand, when you commit to something big, the challenges get bigger. The obstacles get larger. Okay? And when those challenges come, how are you going to overcome them? When they appear, what can you do to push through them? So Edson's going to play a little music for you guys here, give you a moment to think about that. Then we're going to go back in our breakout rooms, just do a little discussion on that, get a few shares, and we'll wrap this thing on up. So Edson, if you want to go and play that song for me, that would be absolutely fantastic. Perfect. Great. Good thinking music. So take a few minutes, jot down some notes, be ready to go in your groups. All right, Edson, let's get some takeaways.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like everyone is back from the breakout rooms. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to get some takeaways from some of you while you were discussing some of those things, some of the top things that you learned, some of the things that Anthony was going over. So if you would like to share, go ahead and either raise your hand. I think virtually is going to be the easiest way to do it. But if not, just raise your hand like you normally would, and I will definitely try to find you here. All right, Jordan, I got the message, but I do not see where they are at. Are you able to spotlight them?
All right, Isaac, you want to share? All right, cool.
Sure, I'll
Go
share.
for it, Isaac.
Okay, so my goal that I'm shooting for this push is the 10K. Part of that reason is because, well, I'm on my fast start right now, and my fast start, I set my goal for 15K. It's a bit ambitious, and I know that is, but why not? Like, why not be uncomfortable for a week or two? Like I said in a couple of my rooms, like, if I'm not uncomfortable at least some moments in my life, what happens when something uncomfortable that I'm not expecting comes and hits me in the face? Like, what am I going to do with that? So I don't know. It's just being out of my comfort zone for just these 2 weeks. Like, why not?
Absolutely. I love it, Isaac. I absolutely love it. Well, hey, thank you so much for sharing. Guys, you already know, show some love to Isaac for being able to share that. I definitely appreciate that. And yeah, why not? Right? Why not go for that? Absolutely. Victoria, I know you wanted to share something, so I will go ahead and have you share next.
All right. Hi, guys. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm having a little trouble with my internet, so I'll do this really quickly. Okay. So one of the goals, please, Hans, don't hate me. Please don't hate me for this. So my goal for the push is to sell 3K. I almost sold 2K in 1 month, so I really want to push to selling 3K in the 2 weeks for the push. So Hans, please don't hate me for that. I'm not setting a higher goal, but I want to set a realistic goal. And I started doing the sticky notes. So I still need to get some Scotch tape or get some duct tape and start posting those in my neighborhood. And I was even telling my group that, you know what, I've been in this neighborhood for 10 years. I only know 2 neighbors and everybody's still here after 10 years. So let's see who else I need to know. So that's my goal for the push start.
Fantastic. I love it, Victoria. Thank you for sharing. Go ahead, post or go ahead and share some love for Victoria as well in the chat. And then we got time for one more, everybody. So who would like to share? Who would like to be our final share? Katie, go for it.
All right. So my goal is 8K. So basically what I was thinking, the reason why I want to do that is because for when I become a manager one day, to show my future reps that you don't have to have this giant list of recos and stuff, because I've dwindled down my recos during the fall, haven't been too spicy and on top of it. And so I think in the future, when I do become a manager, that I can say, hey, this is how you grow your list and this is how you have like a really high push goal. So that's kind of where my mind's at.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Katie. Definitely appreciate it. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%, Brad, 100%. All right, everybody. So Anthony, I know we got a couple other things that we are going to wrap up with, so I will let you go ahead and take it away from here, sir.
Is right. Hey, appreciate those shares. Thank you again, Victoria, Isaac, Katie, for sharing that fantastic stuff there. Hashtag why not? That's a fantastic one right there. I want you to write at the top of your goal sheet, I just put why not. Miss J, when Miss J is like, I don't know if I want to get it, and you just go, why not? That's now what I want to live my life by. So I like that. Cool. Hey, Edson, if you want to go and hit me with the next slide here, let's make sure our slides match up. That'll be fantastic. I believe they should be sharing because I see them on my screen right there. But cool. One more time. Let me see what's the next one you got for me there. See if our slides have matched up at this point. Okay, they have not. So real quick, I want to pull up my slides. It's okay. If you want to refresh them, I will pull up this one slide because I have to share this. It would not be an event if I didn't share this. It is the one slide I think I'm best known for in my life now because it is the one slide that I think stood out to me the most when I was a brand new rep. I'm realizing on my screen it just is loading. So I don't know if y'all can see this just yet, but what you should be seeing is the success diagram. And the reason I share this every single time I talk about almost anything, it feels like in my life now, is I remember learning this my first push. I remember my manager, as I walked into the Alliance meeting a minute early, he goes, you almost got locked out today. He takes a marker and he just draws the line. And he goes, this is what people think success is like. This is what people think it looks like to get better, to improve, to grow, that, you know, that success and just improvement is going to be this linear path. And he goes, but here's what it really looks like. He takes his marker and he starts just drawing. It is all these random squiggly lines and it just finishes at the top. And he goes, no. Success is a cluster, and he used the profane word that I'm not going to use on this recording right now. But he said, it's hard. It sucks. It's a struggle. It's challenging. And there will be times where you want to quit. He goes, the highs are high and the lows are low. But what's important is understanding how to get through that. That what you're learning right now, what you're pushing yourself to do, what you're achieving for yourself is not just the goal, is not just the number, not just that feeling, but you're creating the mindset. You're creating the work ethic, the habits needed to create success in anything that you do. And that's what the push is about. And that's why I'm so excited to see so many of you here today and ready to really challenge yourself and to be uncomfortable, like Isaac talked about, right? You got to learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable, how to get through those initial challenges. So as we finish up things here today, I just want to tell you a little bit about the push, okay? The biggest question I think to ask yourself at this point now is, you know what you want, right? Or at least you have an idea of what you want. You have an idea now of what it would take, how you do it, what could get in the way. The last question simply is, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it to give it your all? Would it be worth it to redefine whoever you've been here? I like how Victoria said, I did 2K in 1 month. I'd like to do 3K in 2 weeks. Well, here's what I thought about immediately as Victoria said that. I thought about Giselle Messinas shooting for $4,000 in her fast start, but committing to 35 demos. Giselle did 32 demos, so $10,000, Victoria. Giselle does not come from, great money, does not have, amazing connections. But she took the time to simply say, I'm going to give it my all. And I'm going to commit to the process, the numbers, commit to what it takes to achieve the goal, not to the goal itself. And that's what I want you to be thinking about. What would it take to achieve the goal? Don't worry about what the goal itself is. What if you could make the most money you've ever made in a 2-week period? Shoot, minimum you're going to make is $2,000. Max you can make is like $5,000 doing a $10,000 push. What if you stacked your resume? What if you did something that you can say so few people have ever done? So few people have ever done, right? What if you grinded and hustled and fought to the end? What would that do for your confidence? What would it do for your communication skills? What would it do for the way you look at yourself? Your self-dignity, your pride, who you believe that you are. What if you grew yourself? What if you proved the haters wrong? If you don't have haters here, you probably aren't working that hard. I'll tell you that right now. If you don't have people that ask you, look at you, question you, doubt you, tell you you can't do it, it's not supposed to happen, then you need to work a little bit harder. Try a little bit more. What if you created a story worth telling over and over again? Okay. Before giving her talk today, Chloe said, I don't want to tell my story again. People have already heard it. And I said, that's exactly why you should tell it again. Because new people here haven't heard it just yet. And it's going to inspire more and more people moving forward every single time you tell it. So what can that story be like for you? What is the story you're going to craft, you're going to write, and you're going to be able to tell 2 weeks from now? Would it be worth it to chase your dreams, achieve your goals, and potentially change your life from a 2-week push period? Okay. And where that starts is with the alliance meetings. So we told you already, shit's going to hit the fan. So when it does, do you have the support system, the community to get you through it? And that is what the alliance is for. It's taking the opportunity to have the people there to push you higher, to drag you when you don't want to get up, and to keep you moving forward. It's 17 days straight on this Zoom at 9 a.m. with me. And I'll tell you right now, it will not be fun. And here's how I hope you think about our experience together, should you decide to be a part of the alliance here for the Southland Division. For 17 days, I want you in the back of your head to curse me out, hate me, and say terrible things about me. But a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever, I want you to look back at that and go, I'm so happy I decided to push myself, challenge myself, and give myself the opportunity to work harder than I ever have before. So it's full access to the best reps. I'll tell you right now, the ones that sign up are obviously going to be the best ones. Simple as that. It's full access to the best trainers, to the managers, to get to spend more time with the top people. And all, of course, the top information here within our division. This is where champions are made. This is the fire that they're forged in. This is the pressure that creates their diamonds. So how do you get this started? First things first, you need to have in your schedule, grab your planners. Grab your planners. I say that not for all of you in front of me, but for all these people behind me. Grab your planners. Better grab a piece of paper then. Okay. There's 3 phone jams tomorrow. Not going here is literally not putting money in your pocket. Not only because you're not making demos and you're setting yourself up to not get off to a quick start to your push period, but also because you literally can make money by being at the phone jam. Every demo you book gets you money in your pocket. There's 3 phone jams from 11 to 2:30, 2 to 4, and 6 to 8:30. Edson, if you can make sure this information is put in every single GroupMe, Slack, WhatsApp, mailbox, email, text message, flyer, blimp, I don't care, kite. You need to make sure you know these times and you're there for them. Okay. The phone jam crew will be providing you the absolute heat over the next 2 weeks. You want to go out and do something amazing. You need to make Edson and the phone jam crew your best darn friends. That's the first thing you need to do. Second thing you need to do is you need to go to this website right here. You need to take a look at the division contract. So I'm going to pop this in the chat box. tinyurl.com/SC Alliance 21. Okay. And I know this is not going to share too well for me. So Edson, if you could pull that up and share that for us, that would be fantastic. Look how fast he is, guys. Freaking on it. Perfect. If you can zoom in a little bit for me, that would be fantastic. Okay. I promised Jay Brad to get some people to share. We don't have time, so I will be reading. Hopefully you're not tired of my voice just yet. A little bit more. Keep zooming for me. That'd be fantastic. So let me explain to you what we mean by committing, by deciding, by literally killing off all other options. We mean signing a contract, okay, an oath. And here's how it goes. Let it be known that I, whoever you are, am hereby committing to the effort it will take to achieve my stated goal during the push period. Committing to the effort it takes to help rally and support the other Alliance members so that we can all achieve more in this push period than we could without each other's support and encouragement. I will adhere to the Southland core value number 6, that being whatever it takes mentality. And I know that the only way to prove I have this mindset is by simply taking action. So Edson, if you want to go and scroll down for us, that would be fantastic. Okay. Here's where you'll put in your email. All right. And then you're going to see right after the core values here, you're going to see a nice long list of commitments. As part of the Alliance, we will be reading these every single day. But before that, right there, you have a little bit of homework. Here's your first homework assignment. There's a video here, right? And it talks about the miracle equation, which was mentioned several times today by, I know, Chase, by Connor, and by Chloe, the miracle equation by Mr. Hal Elrod. And I mean, I can tell you all day about Hal, but if you haven't listened to his podcast on Changing Lives, Selling Lives, Hal is a Vector alumni. He's someone that has literally almost died twice. And through this little mindset he's created through selling Cutco is kind of cheating life almost. He's hacked the world. He's created miracles over and over again. Hal got in a car accident, which literally left him dead for several minutes. He battled one of the most severe forms of cancer and simply said, I will not let this stop me. He was paralyzed and was told he'd never walk again and now runs ultra marathons. Hal created the miracle equation, which simply says that when you couple unwavering faith, okay, and I forgot the work ethic part, chat box if somebody, you know what it is, but unwavering faith and like relentless work ethic, something like that. You create miracles. All right. It simply says that if you push all the way to the end and you believe that it will happen, there seems to be this energy, extraordinary effort. There it is. Thank you, Chloe. Okay. It seems to be this almost supernatural energy that is provided with that. And the way you're going to create that is by understanding these statements below. So if you want to scroll down a little bit for me, I know sometimes my screen doesn't work too well, but here is your push mantra. Simply says, number 1, I will do whatever it takes to achieve my goal. I am committed to maintaining unwavering faith that I can reach my goal for the push period no matter what. There is no other option. I'm committed to put forth extraordinary effort every single day until the last possible moment, regardless of my results along the way. I will attend Alliance events at 9 a.m. and morning Champions Club workshops at 9:30 a.m. during the push. I will participate in team phone jams. I will attend all the weekly team events during the push. I understand that a presentation is never more important than a weekly team event for my own benefit and for the benefit of the team. I will endeavor to have a positive impact on other reps on the team. I will discuss my mindset and emotional ups and downs with my manager. I understand that making a decision to do something great attracts challenges. That the bigger the goal, the bigger the obstacles that will arise to try and keep me from my goal. I commit to be greater in my character than the impediment of any obstacles. I will stay active in the group chat and work to keep other team members encouraged and motivated. My faith will be stronger than my fear. I will respond promptly to text messages and phone calls from my team leader, and I'll report my phone results and demo results every day. Scroll on down for me. Then you'll, of course, place your goal, whatever that might be, 4, 7, 10, 108, 103. You get the idea. You can go ahead and click on the required one. If yours is somewhere in the middle or so, you can talk to your manager about it, but that's kind of the baselines there. Then you will go and type in your name below. I am acknowledging that I've made a commitment. All right, a commitment. A commitment means staying loyal to what you said you're going to do long after the feeling that you made that commitment in has passed, right? Like was mentioned here today, making decisions based on actions, not feelings, okay? Knowing that there will be challenges, and some of them might be major. Knowing that you can choose your attitude and actions every day, and I will give it my all to put forth the effort it takes to achieve my goal, no matter what. There is no other option, okay? That's if you want to scroll down to the next part for me. I hereby give permission to my manager to help me achieve this goal. This may include early morning and or late night phone calls, help with creating and executing a daily plan, and even a kick in the butt if I need it, and probably will. My manager's name is blank, and I have considered this goal and I do not take it lightly. Below are at least 3 reasons why this goal is important to me. I give my manager permission to remind me of these reasons and use them as leverage to help me follow through and give my best effort to achieve my goals. Okay. From there, at the bottom, you'll be able to submit, and your responses will be emailed to you, which we will talk about almost every single morning during the Alliance. So you have now till basically tomorrow to go ahead and take a look at this and decide if that's something you want to do. I would recommend, actually, I'll tell you right now, you want to make sure you schedule a time with your manager by tomorrow to go over this, to go through this, and to find and determine whether or not this is something for you. So that's it. If you can share the last slide there, which has our assignments for the day. Here are the things I want you to look at and do as you work on this contract, okay? Here are our homework assignments for the day. Okay, number 1 is commit and choose your goal. The moment you decide to commit, your life will never be the same. Okay, once you commit, everything else will figure itself out. Second is bolster up your names list. Like Connor said, it only takes 10 good ones, but why not go in with 20, 30, 50, 100? Sit down, text your friends, put out some Post-it notes, right? Sit down with mom or pops, have the talk with your parents, all right? Not the talk you're thinking about, the names list talk, all right? Number 3 is make sure you're prepared for tomorrow's phone jams. Don't forget there's an extra raffle for participating in each and every of the 3 phone jams. Number 4, set your planner for success. And number 5, managers, make sure you know which of your people are here. Make sure every single one of those people listens to the Flip the Switch audio as well, okay? The phone jam schedule will get posted here in every group meet. With that, hey, I'm really looking forward to getting to work with those of y'all that commit to yourself, to your opportunity, and to your possibilities here with us, okay? So if you want to go and stop sharing, that would be fantastic. I'm excited to officially get you started on this push journey, and I'm hoping and willing that you will commit to yourself and join us for the Alliance starting on Monday at 9 a.m. right back here. Thank you again for being here with us tonight, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your night, and let's push.